Where are we?
We're at Agate Bay Beach, and I'm going to look for agate stones for longer than Tom wants me to. And there's a lighthouse.
There is a lighthouse, a couple lighthouses. There's a lighthouse out here. This is in the town of Two Harbors. A little bitty lighthouse on the end of that pier, and a larger lighthouse up here that we will not have time to go tour, but it's cute. We left from Ashland, Wisconsin today, went in through Bayfield to pick up some apple donuts. We also got some apple pie, some apple jelly, and then we drove through Duluth into Minnesota, and now we're heading up the Scenic Highway. What's the highway number?
50, I don't know.
I don't remember either. Anyway, it's the Scenic Highway that goes right here on Lake Superior.
61, I think.
61, that sounds right. All the way up to Canada. We won't get that far tonight. We're going to stop in Lutkin, which I think is a ski resort hotel. So it's off season for them here in May. Anyway, here we are, Two Harbor Agate Bay Beach. So what did you get?
I got lots of rocks. Can't really see because they're blue, but some of them are little tiny agates in there maybe.
Ooh, there's some seagulls.
Well, those are shapes
Lots of seagulls. Oh, sorry, squirrel.
See, rocks.
Rocks.
All right, it was fun.
Great,
Way
it was
too much
fun.
time.
We are at the Gooseberry Falls State Park at the Visitor Center. They have a lot of good storyboards of things about the falls, and it's only about a 5-minute walk to the falls. So we are good to go to do that. We decided to go up to the upper falls first. We're not quite there yet. This was a little mid-vista, looking at all the people down at the mid and lower falls. Came up these stairs, on what is called the Upper Gateway, which has some memorial things on it. A discussion about how the geology gave them a really hard time on building this bridge over the falls. And then 4 signs that talk about the late 19th century activity that went on the shores here, as well as the Depression era CCC projects that built this park around the falls. And here is the view of the Upper Falls. There's the Grand View area, the bridge that we were just near. There's the bridge again, and I am now down at the mid-level falls. It's pretty wide, not a huge amount of volume, and lots of people. You can see young ones wading. There's a sign back there that says they don't recommend swimming. Unpredictable conditions. Oh, and there's my bride. I don't know if you can see her through the trees. And here is the lower falls. Also crowded with people. We ran into 3 ladies. Looked like they were related to each other. That went behind the waterfall. I think that's what these guys are going to try to go do as well. And then it carries on down. There's people fishing over there. And there's my lovely bride looking at the shoreline of the creek. We are at the Split Rock State Park in Minnesota. Looking at the Split Rock Lighthouse down from what they call Pebble Beach, which is, interestingly enough, a black sand beach, or at least it has some black sand components to it. Black and gray. And there's my beautiful wife taking fun pictures and looking at rock layers. Anyway, there we are. That's just to complete the view. There's a little island over there that's connected by a few hop, skip, and jump rocks. But of course, the highlight is the lighthouse itself. So we went past the scary rocks most of the way out to this island so we could get the better angle on the lighthouse. There it is, iconic. It's the one you see on postcards. Where are we?
We're at a tree. We're at Cascade Falls.
Nope, Caribou.
Caribou. Man, I've been doing that. Caribou Falls. It's a half-a-mile little hike, and sun setting, and it's hazy from the Canadian fire, so it's a kind of hazy red.
Yeah, let me get a good angle on that sun.
So, last excursion of the day.
Last excursion of the day. There you can see the sun peering through the leaves. This must be the creek that comes down from the falls that are half a mile ahead of us. That's a tall wall of dirt. We are at a little clearing as the path is gaining some altitude to get up to the top of the falls. Another overlook. Okay, I think we've reached peak altitude because they have constructed this staircase to go down. There's a fork in the road. It says that goes on up to the main trail. And I hear the water in that direction. So we are getting close. Was it worth it?
It was very worth it.
Very worth it. Glad for our dozens of viewers. This is what it looks like at Caribou Falls in Minnesota.
Lower view.
This is the lower view?
Yeah, because they said the upper view point you couldn't see.
I think they were pulling our leg to discourage us from coming up here. And the other person said, don't tell them that. It's beautiful. We have come down all these stairs to this place where we're standing right against the water. And you can see there is an upper fall up there that we couldn't see from the higher place. It goes around the corner there, takes a hard left. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, Caribou Falls. And you probably can't tell, but this is from a slightly different angle. I'm standing a little bit out in the water on some rocks, so I can get a little better view of that upper fall as it comes down into this giant pool. There's the bottom of the stairs, over to the right. And again, that water that's flowing, taking a hard left around that corner. There's where we started. One last shot before we start the hike back.